What's up guys, so in this video I'll be talking about the deck that I used to climb my entire ladder this season. Alright, it should have been in the previous video where I made Infinite. It was a crazy Infinite climb. The last game was very epic. Do check out the video yourself. Right, I was supposed to explain in that video and I actually did, but unfortunately I forgot that my mic was muted. So yeah, right, so we have this video. Okay, if you want to see the gameplay, please check out my gameplay videos. Links will be in the description, you can take a look at it. Right, but without much further ado, I'll be sharing the Sam Wilson deck that I used for my entire Infinite climb. Made it under 1600, which I think is pretty okay since I didn't particularly rush my way. I was still playing Sanctum Showdown, I was still screwing around in Conquest, having some fun with the cards that I pulled from, not cards, rather just Victoria Hand and Iron Patriot that I pulled from Sanctum Showdown. Right, so I'm pretty happy with this rank actually, and yeah, considering that Agamotto is very strong also. So yeah, right, so this is the Sam Wilson deck. Basically it's a Sam Wilson ongoing deck, and if you were to ask me is there any play lines to follow with this deck, the answer is actually no, which is why this deck is so fun. Right, there are so many ways that you can win using this deck. Okay, and it's really what you want to do with within each game. What do you think represents the greatest chance for you to win? Okay, because there are just so many ways for you to win. Right, so let's go into each card individually, and when you understand the value, the power of each card, you will be able to craft up a game plan on how to win when you look at your draws. Now the first card is Ant-Man. Okay, hang on. Obviously this is a ongoing deck, so we are looking at ongoing cards anyway, right? Just in case that didn't sit with you, that doesn't sit with you yet. So we begin with Ant-Man, which can be a 1/5, and this is actually very great value, very efficient value. 1/5 is the highest power a 1-cost card can have, right? So yeah, Ant-Man is insane, and when you are able to double it up with other cards, for example Moonstone, which we'll talk more on later, it's actually very powerful. It can actually be very impactful. The second card is Ravonna, right? Your cards with 1 or less power cost 1 less, right? So with Ravonna, you would be making your Mystique 2 cost, you would be making your Iron Man 4 cost, and if you play these 2 cards down on the last turn, it's a huge surprise. Now the start of the show is Sam Wilson, right? So Sam Wilson, you add a cap shield to a random location, you can move the cap shield, and each time you move it to Captain America, be it Sam Wilson Captain America or our Steve Rogers Captain America, you will give the Captain America +2 power. So basically, you keep giving these 2 cards an additional 2 power, and it basically snowballs up, and well, you have insane value, you get great value out of it. Lizard 2/6, 6 power is the highest power for a 2-cost card. Of course there's a potential drawback that it could -4 power if your opponent has 4 cards here, but if we play Luke Cage out, we can protect ourselves against such problems. Okay, and yeah, so you either play Luke Cage to protect your Lizard, or you make Lizard some kind of tactical play. For example, you play Lizard into the locations that causes you to draw rocks, to shuffle rocks into your deck, and they might not want to play into that lane. Alright, so Lizard can be a very interesting strategy, a tactic, a card that you play for the sake of tactics. Okay, and in an ongoing deck, it doesn't matter if your Lizard gets hit with that -4, because maybe Captain America boosts it up with a +2, right? Or maybe it could be the card to fill Ant-Man with to get that +4, right? So yeah, Lizard is still, even with that -4, Lizard is still a 2/2. It's still a very healthy 2/2 and an ongoing card that could be buffed by Spectrum as well. Right, Mystique, nothing much to say. Mystique is typically used to have our second copy of Iron Man. So basically doubling of power is great. It's even greater if you can get it at 3 costs. Mr. Fantastic has been very useful since the buff, since the change, right? +3 on on adjacent location. You are applying a lot of pressure on the left and right. Okay, so it's just a good card. Luke Cage is needed for Lizard and also Anti-Venom, right? So with Anti-Venom, you set the cost and power to 0, right? If you have Luke Cage, you get a free play. You basically get a free play, right? And Luke Cage is also needed because we are seeing a lot of Scream decks, we are seeing a lot of Affliction decks as well. Of course, they are not the main because mainly I'm running into Agamotto decks, I'm running to Hela, but Affliction and Scream decks still exist a lot. There are a lot of them floating around, so Luke Cage is necessary. Captain America, well, basically for the Sam Wilson play where you ping pong the shield between these two, right? Of course, Captain America is also a pretty solid card to have in terms of ongoing, right? You know, if you fill the lane, you get an additional +6 here, right? If you feel your other ongoing cards have a +2, and if it happens to be an Iron Man, it's a +4. Now the next card is Moonstone, and Moonstone has been low-key MVP, right? Moonstone has been low-key MVP of this deck. There are a lot of possibilities you can do with Moonstone. Moonstone into Ant-Man is an additional 4 energy. 4 power. Moonstone into Ravonna is very scary. It makes Mystique 1 cost, it makes Mr. Fantastic 1 cost, it makes Iron Man 3 cost. That means you can have a very explosive turn 6. That is just shocking that nobody is able to plan for, nobody is able to account for. Moonstone into Mr. Fantastic, basically your left and right gets a +6. That can come as a very big surprise. Moonstone into Captain America is also pretty solid, right? Because, well, you are adding an additional 6 +6 if you fill the lane, or +4 if there's only 3 cards in the lane, right? So it's not insane, it's not crazy, but it's still very substantial. But the biggest, the craziest thing is, if you were to Moonstone, right? If you were to play a Mystique that is copying an Iron Man into a Moonstone, basically you're having 2 Iron Man, right? And just looking at Mystique and Moonstone alone, it is 24 power, right? Because Moonstone is 6 power, you double it with Mystique, that's 12, you double it again with Moonstone, that's 24 power. And that's just these 2 cards. If you are playing into, if there are other cards in the lane, it's crazy. Okay, so Moonstone plus Mystique is insane. Anti-Venom basically offers you a free play. It offers you a free play. Okay, the thing is, some people don't like it because it's not an ongoing, but hey, it gives you a free play, so you're still sort of able to play an ongoing card, right? You know, if the argument is that, hey, I don't want to play Anti-Venom because I want to play an ongoing card, well, you still can play a free ongoing card anyway. Okay, and it's crazy good if, you know, you have Luke Cage on the board. It's crazy good. There are so many possibilities. Any card, hitting any card makes really a huge impact. The only possible card that doesn't make a huge impact would be maybe Sam Wilson because it's too late. Alright, or you know, Lizard if you don't have Luke Cage on board. Right, but otherwise it's basically any card is crazy. A 0/0 Spectrum is still very powerful because, well, basically you are boosting your other cards for free. Okay, so of course Iron Man, well, Iron Man is Iron Man, nothing much needs to be talked about Iron Man. Spectrum, with so many cards on the board, with so many ongoing cards on the board, you hit them with Spectrum and you know, you just gain a lot of power, right? And if your Spectrum hits Iron Man, Mystique, that's basically an additional 8 power, right? So just from those two cards, right? And of course you have Spectrum, that's 7, that's 15. So Spectrum, just bouncing off 3 cards is 615, right? And of course you have other ongoing, so it goes to 617, 619. Well, basically it goes crazy. So yeah, this is the deck that I've used to climb all the way to Infinite this season. Sam Wilson ongoing. It's a very fun deck because you do different things. You can do different things with each game, right? Some games we are winning using Iron Man, some games we are winning with the Mr. Fantastic Moonstone, it surprises people. Some games we are ping-ponging between Sam Wilson and Captain America, watching them grow big and then, you know, just filling up the rest of the board. So it's very fun. It's a very fun deck. Alright, and I have to say, I think I already said this last season, but with Sam Wilson, ongoing is back, everyone. Ongoing is back into the mana. Ongoing is top of the mana. Ongoing is, you know, very solid. Nobody can say that ongoing, yeah, it's just a, you know, beginner series 1, series 2 kind of deck. No, ongoing is here to stay, guys. So that's it. I apologize, this should have been part of my previous video, okay, but I didn't realize that my mic was muted. So yeah, for those who have yet to hit Infinite, good luck to you. For those who have, well, let's chill, guys. Happy snapping, happy weekend.